Anyway, let's get right into it. So
Hit me.
episode 85. I've been looking forward to this one. I've been waiting to get into Ocho Cinco. One of my favorite
I thought you were going
numbers.
to say Brandon Lloyd.
He's a close second.
Ooh.
Do
He's
I
a close
say?
second.
Do I also say Hernandez the first time around before he started killing people?
That's a tough one. Aaron Hernandez pre-homicide. Big fan.
No
He was
other
a killer.
He killed it.
No better Hernandez than pre-homicide Hernandez in my book.
My favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite. Anyway, episode 85. Here we go. So TKA is back with us. Toughest kid around. Question for you. I forget who we were talking to about this. I think it was Mav. Are you ready, or is your goal to eventually be toughest kid alive? Or are you still comfortable with toughest kid around?
So it's funny.
How do you get promoted?
Fair question.
That's a very fair question. It's funny how the name came about. I won't bore people with the details, but it was somebody said it to me. It was like a joke, and then it kind of just stuck, and then it got shortened to TKA. And the fact that there's like people still to this day that I've talked to for almost like 20 years that still don't know what it means.
So
this is breaking news right here.
I would say I was friends with you for a comfortable amount of time before I
don't
guess
like that
asking.
I don't like that you said was friends with you in that sentence. I think we're still friends. I don't know.
No. What I was saying was I was friends with you for a long time before I knew what it meant.
Yeah, Sean probably told you, and God knows who told him.
Yeah. I think this whole time I assumed it was just your initials, and then I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. None of his first, middle, or last name starts with those letters. But I didn't know if it was like an Italian thing. I don't know.
Some people
silent TKA.
So there was a freestyle Spanish group, and everybody thought that I was like a relative to one of them.
Yes.
Then there was. Yeah, because people have no idea. I have like no ethnicity. Nobody.
You look
really
like a
knows
Spanish weekend.
So that's what I thought it was. I thought it was toughest Kazakhstani alive.
Yeah. Yes.
I won't dare do a Borat impression because that's just not funny anymore. But yes.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could have done one. I would have laughed.
Nice.
We've been meaning to talk about this. Soapy and I are big Borat guys.
Huge.
I'll go down and say I think that's one of the greatest comedies of all time. I haven't even seen the first one yet. I haven't seen the second one. I can't imagine it's any good.
I refuse to because I don't think it's going to be a concept that could be repeated anyway.
Yeah, I agree. Borat 1 is phenomenal. It's one of the better. Like you said it. I get it. Like yes, it was a little over quoted sometimes, but for a good reason. Like that movie is so awful, like in how they make it and some of the jokes and stuff. But it's as long as you're lighthearted enough to understand it's a fucking comedy movie. This isn't a real documentary. That's not the real guy who he is. It's a hilarious film from beginning to end.
I agree. I just I remember they said, "Oh, it's coming back," and I just went,
Dude, the scene
like
where he's
Hangover
explaining
2.
the dynamic between his brother and sister. You will never get this. You will never get this.
So good. It's just like,
and then he gets this.
We talk about this all the time too. It's like if you go back to The Office, like Michael Scott's a great character because he just puts himself in uncomfortable situations. Borat is like to the nth degree level of putting a guy in extremely uncomfortable situations, mostly racial, misogynistic, sexist.
So I think the difference, and by the way, I think this is a phenomenal topic to start the podcast with. I think that
completely planned.
He is like the third world version of like the bizarro world version of Michael Scott, where Michael Scott never really like seeked out the awkwardness. It just kind of came to him like a magnet. Borat was purposely like, how was it him and his like friend were wrestling naked again? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I don't.
What a good scene.
I don't recall the plot too much at all.
Was there one? Like it wasn't.
Not really.
It was just,
he was going back to America for something. Unless I'm thinking of Coming to America.
It was like Coming to America meets The Office meets Jackass. Like it was
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That scene is so fucking good.
The best is like when he's like interviewing with like just random people. Like he had let's see, he had the guy who was like basically one of those weird religious like therapy guys who would like coach people from being gay pretty much.
Pray the gay away.
Oh yeah,
pray the gay away.
Would convert them. Yeah.
Phenomenal scene. Learning about like how to talk properly with women, with those three women, which was
Yep.
Can't do
Learning
that
manners
today.
and stuff like that. It was funny.
Pretty
Yep.
much. Checking into the hotel was outstanding scene.
Yep.
The group of fellas he met before checking into the hotel was even better.
The house that he stayed at, like that, it wasn't an Airbnb
God.
or whatever dinner party he was invited to show that he had like learned the ropes in terms of this is how you conduct yourself in an American dinner.
Yep.
Dude, I think I
great
just think
film.
that hotel wrestling scene, like a lot of people don't know that
I don't
that's
remember that.
when we
It
tried to
also-
like do a couple live shows, it always ended with me and Dan doing that. And then like obviously it just
Did you guys
things
have
went south quick.
Did you guys have as much anti-Semitism as they did in that movie?
No,
I mean,
No, very pro-Semitism.
no. Very,
we're very
I don't know
pro-Semitism.
if that's the right word, but yeah, we're very anti-Semitism on this
Okay,
show.
that's fine. Wait,
God, I hope that makes sense.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
okay.
I double checked that double negative there for a second.
Let's get into the episode before we.
I thought we did.
Ourselves. I guess I don't know.
It's the Borat
So
episode.
it is episode 85. I do want to pay the appropriate homage to Ocho Cinco. We'll get to that later. Marc is here. We'll connect with him shortly. Soapy, do we have any housekeeping issues to address before we get started?
We inked a new sponsorship deal. I know it's been a busy week for you, but
Wonderful.
I've been working tirelessly on my end. So yeah, here we go. And obviously it's been a while, and that's for it's for good reason. Our next ad is brought to you by an old friend. That's right. While everyone is shopping on Amazon or eBay or even Target and Walmart, we struck up a deal with Facebook Marketplace.
Okay.
Right before this ad, ironically, Dan was looking for a box of certified pre-owned Q-tips, and Marc, what was it? You were looking for a half-empty jar of baby food?
It was peanut butter. It wasn't baby food, but it was peanut butter from my child I was looking for on Facebook Marketplace.
That's
hand-me-down peanut butter.
Yeah.
Well, guys, look no further. So the reason we waited so long in between the ad reads, by the way, is because we had to pull a lot of strings and a lot of dollars spent on securing this one. Exclusively for listeners of the Morse Code podcast only, the first people to tag us in their next Facebook Marketplace transaction will receive 10% added on to their purchase. You probably think you heard me wrong, so I'll explain. Let's say you happen to find a good deal on a used toothbrush or maybe some recently chewed tobacco, and the seller is asking for $100. You obviously think you found a great deal, and with President's Day around the corner, you don't want to be the one guy who wasn't able to get a present for your significant other. Right. You don't want to be that guy.
No, you never want to be that guy.
So you mention us in the online posting, and you will get that item in our example for $110. We and Facebook Marketplace are so confident you'll like this deal that Dan and I will personally drive you to the seller with a weapon of your choice to make sure everything goes as planned. So if you think you might have to negotiate with someone who looks suspicious or questionable, we'll show up with the official Morse Code podcast, Smith & Wesson, to help you secure the deal you were looking for. As a bonus, everyone knows how tough it is to deal with private seller websites in general. I hate it. You guys are always bitching about it.
Right. Yeah.
What's the number one thing? You list an item, someone asks you a bunch of questions about it, and then they either don't follow up or they lowball you.
Yeah. The one photo I should post with no description should be enough.
Yes, exactly.
Fair. Thank you, Marc.
That is an unwritten rule.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this happened recently because Dan was trying to get rid of his Gordon Hayward autograph COVID nasal swab. And I know he was pretty. What's that?
Hot commodity.
Yeah, he was pretty upset about it for a while. And someone was asking him to prove certification and wanted to see a bunch of pictures of him using it on himself. They're just asking a lot of stuff. He did all that, never heard back. So if that happens to you, those days are over because we're offering a bundle deal to the first 5 people looking to take advantage. Not only will you get the previously described promotion, but if you can show us documented proof of a marketplace lowballing or ghosting, we will refer you to some friends we actually recently met in our local chapter of the Proud Boys. They don't deal in reason too much, but they will certainly get their point across. So again, just mention us in your next marketplace transaction to take advantage. That's at the Morse Code Pod for an extra 10% added to your purchase. Facebook Marketplace, where penny pinchers go to shop and boomers go to sell.
Soapy, it's funny you say that because just like the previous episode I was on, I also have a promo code for
No way.
Something for Facebook Marketplace. Yes.
Please.
If you right now use the promo code TKA, you can get a non-working street light in the parking lot of the Target you meet up to get that purchase from it. Because when you do business on Facebook Marketplace, you want it to be surely dim. That's promo code TKA.
The dimmer, the better.
That's right.
Wow. What an incredible
It's
offer.
just really the stars align every time that we meet like this.
I don't want to spill the beans too early, but next week we may have an ad to we partnered up with some ski mask company to provide that for you to provide to the seller. So if you don't want to be able to identify them during like this whole negotiation.
Sure. Well, they tell you to wear your mask nowadays. So
yes.
I mean,
I've heard that.
I think ski mask when I hear mask.
Mm-hmm.
Some would argue Tom Brady hasn't heard that, but let's move on. It's episode 85, Ocho Cinco. I was thinking of this, fellas. What are some of your favorite athlete nicknames that are associated with their number? For example, I think Ocho Cinco is towards the top. He quite literally changed his name to Ocho Cinco. Was that during the Patriots run, or was that still towards the end of Cincinnati?
Before, because they were selling Cincinnati jerseys with that on the back.
Those were fire. I had the C. Johnson Bengals jersey, the black one. Yeah. Did you guys cop a Patriots? Did you guys ever have a Chad Johnson jersey?
No, I was a little bit let's say I was foolish, but I thought that, if I buy a Tom Brady jersey, I'll be set for life.
Buddy.
So I have like 5.
I have one. I only have one Brady jersey.
I got a blue. I got a couple of one Adidas on his first year.
Oh yeah. Oh damn.
Then I have the Reebok silver. The Nike red, and I have 2 of the home blue ones. Some were presents.
Nike red one.
Nike red one's fire.
Some were presents, and then some. I'm like,
sure.
It's like President's Day presents.
Yes, off Facebook Marketplace, promo code TKA for your dim light. Absolutely.
Yeah. Brady jerseys are a staple. I'm surprised I only have one. Do you have a Brady jersey, Soapy?
Just the red one.
You do have the red one. That is a nice one. I feel like I've said this before on the show. My favorite Patriots jersey is the white jersey from that era.
They never sold it.
And I don't think they sell them. And they don't wear them a lot. They might have worn them. I specifically know they wore them at least once. It was a Monday night game against Buffalo, I think.
Yeah.
Those jerseys are so fire.
I saw that they were trying to come back this year with that whole theme, and I actually like the white ones. I actually don't mind the color rush, the all blues. I
haven't bought in yet.
You haven't bought in yet because they haven't really won with them yet.
Fair. So, very fair.
I mean, I dig that white one. I remember
I do like the white one better than the blue one. I'll give you that.
Previous guests on the show, and close personal friends, I was at Maz's wedding. Felger and Maz have always said that they look like Revere High's uniforms. I know a teacher at Revere High, and that they are sorely
mistaken.
Well, they're actually kind of spot on, but still I like them.
So the opposite.
Yeah.
I remember going back. I remember Bengals jerseys. Those were like my go-to. I feel like Bengals were a very popular Madden team, and jerseys I liked very much. Speaking of Shawnee O, I don't know if we talked about him before we started recording or what. When I lived with Sean, one of the better years of my life, I'll actually say.
How many people say that living with Sean?
I was going to say, I know his wife hasn't said that.
Yeah, or his young child.
Hell no. That will not be his first words or his first constructed sentence.
No, it'll be like something like no, something like that.
Nah, I'm straight. Yeah. I had a Chad. It was still Chad Johnson. It was C. Johnson because there must have been another Johnson on the team.
So the black one, not the white one?
Black one, orange stripes. The white ones were dope though. Yeah. And Sean had a Carson Palmer Bengals jersey. And every now and then, we never did it on purpose. We weren't that, but every now and then
just throw the remote to each other.
No, we'd wear them together, and it's like, all right, this is gonna be a good day.
Did either one of you have a purple Randy Moss and purple Randall Cunningham? Not Randall Cunningham.
Warren Moon. Dante Culpepper.
Dante Culpepper.
No, that'd be a better combo. Yeah, that's a better combo. Soapy, put that on the poll. Better combo: Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss, or Carson Palmer and Chad Ochocinco.
They won about
The
the
answer
same
is
amount of playoff games. So
fair. I was a big Dante Culpepper guy because he was on the cover of Madden.
Yep.
And he would just throw the ball as far and as high as possible, and Randy Moss would catch it no matter what.
Yeah, Dante Culpepper was literally a big Dante Culpepper guy.
He was a big guy.
I'm pretty sure he perfected the skill of closing his eyes and just throwing it as hard as he could. I'm pretty sure that was his whole.
If I had Randy Moss on my team, I would follow suit.
Hey man, what was the Monday night record again? 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns?
Something crazy. The best stat is that Thanksgiving game. 3 catches, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Nice.
Efficient as fuck. But anyway,
I'm sorry, but Randy Moss, who was one of my favorites, especially
big time, big
especially
fan
when he was on the Patriots. When he was running, and it was obvious he was the fastest guy on the field, but he was like that Usain Bolt, where he never looked like he was running as hard as he could.
He looked really weird running. He didn't look fast, but he ran faster. He ran past everyone. So like he was fast.
It looked like a long stretch every single time. Like it didn't look like he was actually running. You watch highlights.
Very weird. Very
high as fuck.
Yeah. Like I'll say this. Like he made very extremely difficult catches look so bizarrely easy that it was like he didn't, like you would see someone on a highlight reel make this crazy ass catch and you'd be like, wow, that's a great play. But Randy Moss would make the same play. It would just look so much easier. So it wouldn't be on those highlights. Like I remember one game specifically, I think it was Miami when Brady had I think Moss had at least 3 touchdowns. It was like that. He would heave the ball. Yeah. He would heave the ball from the 50-yard line and Moss in triple coverage would just catch the ball like this. Like
he had those like with Brady. He always had those
oh my God, they were right
catches.
There.
He never really had to extend.
No, he never mossed anyone. Like the big thing on ESPN is, you got mossed over the top. He didn't have to. He would literally catch the ball like this in the end zone with 3 people literally surrounding him. And call me crazy, I was a fan.
The guys of his time that actually made difficult catches and made them look difficult was like Anquan Bolden. Yep. He was right in that.
Chad Johnson. Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson. Everything looked very difficult with those guys.
Yes.
But one guy who made things look effortless for most of his career anyway was T.O.
Oh,
the other 80 was. Yeah.
Have you guys seen? I remember I saw it. Remember that show? I don't know if they make this anymore. Sports Science. They did one on Calvin Johnson and dissected his catch radius. And it was basically if you throw a football within 1/2 of the end zone, he has the ability. He has the ability to catch it.
Yeah.
One way or the other. He can get to the ball, which is fucking insane.
I actually love that show. I love that ESPN picked it up, made it part of one of the other shows. Just have it be its own show. They tried to make it part of SportsCenter at the end. I'm like,
it's honor. It deserves a standalone. I tune in weekly.
I liked it. I just think that some of the analogies that they made were so bizarre. They'd be like,
of course,
if you were able to take Randy Moss's legs and have it run at his full speed, it would have been enough to power the Titanic past through the iceberg or some shit like that.
Sure would.
I was like,
it would change the course of history.
Yeah. This is a weird way to show it, but yeah,
Randy Morse. Right. If Randy, I'm gonna keep that's your
new nickname. No, that's your new pseudonym, Randy Morse.
Moss code.
little Carter and Randy Morse running around the house.
Yeah.
If Randy Moss was born in 1890, he could have changed the course of history if he could power the Titanic to go a couple inches to the right.
James Cameron would not have as much money, and Leo DiCaprio would still be alive.
It's like butterfly effect. It'd be. We might not even be here for all I know. Who knows?
Yeah.
Shout out the Titanic for crashing that fateful evening, because now you have this show to listen to.
I very much am happy the Titanic crashed just so I could have the opportunity to be on this show.
Are we a pro or anti Titanic trio?
Fuck the Titanic.
I hate the Titanic. I hate it.
If you really dive into the history of it, which I haven't, it was almost like they should have called it the Jinx. Right? It was oh, this ship will never sail. This, and that. As soon as you say this ship will never sail, that ship's gonna, sink. That ship's gonna sink, which it did. That thing got taken out by an iceberg. And if you watch the movie made in the 90s, which I assume is extremely accurate to how it actually happened, 100 years prior.
They use sports science to try to get it as accurate as possible.
it didn't look like a huge ice. They didn't run into a mountain wall. They ran into a little tiny iceberg, and it went down.
So okay, so you guys are at least both convinced that it
I think
that
I'll
it
put it
was
this way.
real.
Well, let me say
I
this.
believe it happened.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me say this. This
That's
is the one
interesting.
thing that's always pissed me off about Titanic. And you can go back and watch the very historically accurate
Real
depiction.
quick, for our listeners, I promise we'll get into the show shortly.
Yeah.
Continue,
But
Mark.
no, this is an important point. If you watch the Titanic
I have.
movie,
Sure.
there's a scene where the guy is finally realizing they're heading towards an iceberg, and he picks up the little fucking radio phone they have there,
Those didn't exist.
and
go ahead.
he yells, "Iceberg dead ahead!" in like a panic. It was some of the greatest acting I've ever seen ever. But the person on the other line, instead of acting, in a panic and fast, he has time to say in a very calm voice, "Thank you." I don't know why,
They
but
were
that's
polite
always
back
I've
then.
always hated.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
It was
standard
the roaring
ship talk.
20s.
Well,
Thank you, sire.
well,
I
you know
have a
what?
question. I have a quick question.
Sure.
You know how that line is from that movie, right? Paint me like one of your French girls.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
great
So,
scene.
did he end up painting that girl with armpit hair?
Good question. Probably not, because
Okay.
he painted a picture of her. Paint
also
me
dr-
like one of your French girls. Don't paint me as if I am a French girl.
Here's
It's
another
a
thing too.
self-portrait.
He was
That's
drawing.
that's open to interpretation.
He was drawing. He wasn't painting. So how dumb is that? Is
Oh
that
yeah,
girl?
good find.
Paint me
Who
like one of
wrote
your
that
French
movie?
girls. I don't know. Somebody stupid, probably from Philadelphia.
Was that the first time you guys saw boobs on a movie?
No,
still haven't seen the movie.
I watched
No shit.
Species. I watched Species a bunch of
There's
times. when it
boobs
was
in
on later.
Species?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them.
Okay, all right.
And Showgirls. I got to see that a couple times.
I saw that way after Titanic.
Yeah, it's great.
I didn't see
Great film.
Showgirls live. That was like I had to go back and see. Okay.
Thank God for Cinemax. You know what? Thank God the Titanic sank, and thank God for Cinemax.
There can't be any Titanic survivors living now, right? Even if you were a baby,
Can't
you'd be
imagine.
101. It was
109.
19, right? Oh, 1909. Good call. Yeah, they're dead. I was confusing with the Chicago Black Sox. I think that was
1912 is when, because it's like the same day.
Oh,
Fenway
1912.
opened.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd be 109.
Yeah.
There are people that old. I don't know if they also were on the Titanic. I feel like surviving the Titanic would take some years off your life.
I was gonna say maybe you then lived an easy life afterwards. So you're a young 109.
The hardest
Yeah.
part of your life hopefully was over when you survived the Titanic sinking.
Yeah, hell of a test.
Yeah.
I also remember that was one of the OG dual, speaking of VHS, one of the dual VHS combo tapes. It was too long for one VHS. You had to get two.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember that
Interesting.
one. Godfather was a double taper.
So what do they do? Do they literally just fade to black at the end of the first one?
I think it says like, please,
Yeah, it says like end
remove
part
this one and
or-
enter the other one.
It's. I think some of them did
They
the
walked you right through it. Very
Quentin
easy.
Tarantino, like,
Yeah,
I'm too
probably.
fucking cool for school, and I'm gonna put intermission in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did like
It was,
something like
I'm curious where they split it up though. I bet they split it. If anyone's listening on like Facebook or something, comment below,
Sure.
please, if you remember.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, hit the
I
phone
hope-
lines.
Yeah, please. I
Yeah.
wonder if they split it like when you watch a movie on TV, they don't just make a commercial like mid-sentence. It makes sense where they split commercials.
Right.
But I don't know where they ended. That's a great trivia question. Where does the first tape of Titanic end? I
I'd
sure
have
as
to
hell don't know.
I have to imagine it's probably after Leo gets fancy, because as soon as he gets fancy, that's when everything is like goes.
Yeah,
the
big
other way.
turning point. I was a
Yeah.
bigger fan of pre-fancy Leo, like card
me too.
playing, smoking, drinking.
Who
Just
who
always-
plays the
whatever.
iceberg?
The same guy who plays the Night King in Game of Thrones. I forget his name,
Hmm.
but he was a child actor at the time.
Yeah,
Yes, of
He's a
course.
grown man.
guy clearly got typecasted.
Sure did.
That
Sure did.
sucks. That sucks.
Let's do this. I'm trying to think of other ones. The only other ones that came to mind that really clung on to their identified with their number for me was Chad Ochocinco, CP3,
Mhm.
and I had another one. Unless you guys,
Agent Zero.
Agent Zero was another one I had, and TB12.
Yeah,
TB12 turned it into a company.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of-
actually hate the TB12 nickname too. I hate it.
I don't mind it. Why do you hate it?
It's I don't know. It's just letters
Kinda
and
cool.
numbers. It's not.
It
to
is
the-
very simple.
CP3. I mean, they try to.
That is quite literally letters and numbers, but please
right.
go ahead.
But
It's literally the same exact thing.
it just sounded cooler than TB12. TB12
Oh,
is like a
definitely.
little bit
CP3
more.
is way cooler than TB12. Not
And
close.
Paul George, they still try to call him PG-13, but I just call
That
him
stinks.
overrated.
That. Ooh.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Yikes.
He's
Shots
awful.
fired. Not a fan.
Seriously.
Yeah, PG-13 was so easy, it just never took off. I agree.
I don't mind
Because-
that one.
I don't, but I don't understand why he wouldn't do that from the get-go.
I was also very mad that when he started selling his own, like when TB12 started selling their own stuff, they only made like flex hats. I was like, just give me a
Big
snapback.
dad hat.
Yeah.
Just give me a snapback.
I
Like,
have one of
like
those flex
hats.
hats. Not a fan.
Like a fitted hat, right? That's like
Yeah.
or just
stretchy.
a fitted one. Yeah, just give me a regular
I think
fitted one.
fitted hats are dead for a while,
That's
for a
a
little
shame.
bit,
I
until they
like-
come
I-
back.
Yeah.
Unless it's baseball. Baseball fitted hats will always be a thing.
Yeah, you
Outside
can-
of that, nah.
There's
As long as you have
only-
that MLB logo is fire on a fitted
there's
hat.
only
Anything
one like baseball hat you can get away with that's a snapback, and it's like the Nike edition. It had the weird patch on the side. It was all white,
Mm.
and it'd be like your team's main color was the brim, and then the
Yeah.
font would be written kind of like Mitchell and Ness style.
Yeah.
And I remember I had the Red Sox one, and I thought it was like, and it went with my starter jacket I had too. Like,
Oh,
I thought it
sure.
was king shit.
Well,
Uh,
I don't like it because I'll wear one that's like, maybe it is a flex hat, but the ones that have like actual sizes, like small, medium, large, XL. I don't know what size hat I wear for a baseball fitted because I haven't bought one in so long. Plus, my hair fluctuates a lot. So it's like, I can't order one online because I genuinely don't know what size fitted hat I wear right now. Do you? Like, if you were to buy a fitted baseball hat, do you know what your size would
yeah, I
be?
got a massive head. I'm like 7.5.
I think I was like 7.25.
I always try to re-up on a Red Sox hat at the
Not worn
beginning
in
of
a
the
while.
season.
Yeah.
And I always wear that one, and then that's my season hat, and then I'll wear it all throughout it, and it's fucking dirty as hell. And then I spend almost another $50 on a new one next season.
They're incredibly expensive. They're like $38.
Well, that's because because 50 Cent really made it more popular, and hip hop made fitted hats way popular. And that's when they came out with all the different colored ones, and then you had to cop the new era one, and then snapbacks came and basically killed fitteds. And that was like what, like
mid
8 years ago?
2000s. Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, 2005 to 2010.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, they're very cool. Then it got really, like, I remember the fitted hat era, like you said, like 50 is mostly rappers. I certainly couldn't pull one off. But then it just got so weird with like, they were like, I remember they were almost like jester hats. They were like 2 colors here and then like a color down the middle.
Yeah.
And they were just really strange. But I think the actual MLB fitted hats that the players wear, that's probably the only fitted hat that I can see right now.
Some of those fitted hats, like if you look at like the throwback Braves one,
Oh,
it's
those are
like
fire.
blue in the back and it's a white
Oh,
panel
yeah.
here, lowercase a and blue brim. And I'm like, if they're trying to bring that back, and I'm like, please,
I think they should.
please do.
With Hank Aaron dying, I definitely think they should.
Oh, absolutely.
That'd be a good look. And I do like
can't-
those Braves hats. I like the ones, I forget what they wear currently, but there was the white A, but then there was like the red A with like the tomahawk on it.
Yeah.
That was a sick hat. One of my favorite throwback baseball hats is the Angels, like the Mo Vaughn era Angels.
the wing?
like the blue rim and the A is the wing.
dope.
That was a fire
It was-
hat.
Um,
Oh, that was
to go back on our original point, not the Titanic, but the
Yes.
nicknames. I can't think of really many other players that were
Thought of one
associated
more.
with their number.
I thought of one more.
I had 2.
I have Andre Karolenko,
That was one.
AK-47. That's a phenomenal nickname, but he
Yep.
was just so uncool that it just didn't stick.
Yeah. If
What,
you're
what
not
else you
good,
got? So, yeah, you have to be decent.
It was brief because then he starts sucking. But
Mm.
Antoine Walker, employee number 8.
Yep.
But
well,
obviously,
yeah, as soon as he started losing money in his gambling, he definitely started sucking. And then
I did a
cheeseburgers.
little research. I don't know if you guys knew this. I always thought Penny Hardaway was Penny because he wore number 1, but that's not true. Do you know why he's called Penny Hardaway?
No, I thought it was number 1 too. I thought it was the whole
Yeah,
scent
He
thing.
was rudely awakened.
Yeah.
So,
was he drafted number 1 overall or something?
no, it's because his grandmother used to call him Pretty, but I guess with like her Southern accent, it sounded like Penny. So kids started calling him Penny since a young age.
Well, it's a dope name. It's dope.
Phenomenal
It's
nickname. One of the
phenomenal.
best of all time.
Absolutely.
What else? I'm just trying to think.
It's like up there
who
with
else
like
in football?
it's up there, like the Penny nickname alone is up there with like Griffey just being called Junior.
Sure.
and it's just like that's just
well, it's like Ocho. I mean, Ocho Cinco literally changed his name, but other like I was googling like best nicknames in sports because I googled. Oh, that's a good one. Is that Braves? You just texted us.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know that logo until my buddy Ethan
Yeah.
started rocking that hat. That doesn't even look like a Braves whatever.
No, I have no idea what it means. The other one similar to the Braves hat logo was the old
it's
Blue
supposed to be a
Jays.
feather.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, they
The
had
old
it like
Blue
on their
Jays ones
sleeve or
too.
something.
The Blue Jays, and they've worn them recently, but they have the white here with the blue all the way in the back.
Yeah, they need to
and like
bring
the
those
actual
back
J with the
full-time.
red leaf. Those are nice.
Oh yeah,
I kind of do like the ones they did bring back though, with all blue and then just the red maple leaf. I
like
that
the
one.
Sox one that's from the 70s. That's red with a blue brim and a white. It was like a white bee. I think
Oh
it was.
yeah. Oh, like the Carlton Fisk Red Sox. Yeah, those are great.
They tried to like mix those in on like the anniversary or something and they were wearing like the throwback pullovers.
Yeah, those are great.
I remember I worked at Fenway for a hot second, and I remember I got to meet Carl Yastrzemski.
Oh wow.
And
as in TKA.
Humble brag. Yeah.
It's not a big deal for that name drop. Did you hear that?
I did hear it. Yeah.
And he was in the parking lot before he was going out. It was like him and a bunch of other people from the 75 team.
Mm-hmm.
But he was always show up, goes out, throws a pitch, and then gets back in the car. Never stuck around for the game. He went out, and I remember they handed him a jersey, and it was like one of the new ones that's like all Nike, like not Nike, but like ventilated. It's like the fancy fabric they wear on the field and everything that you can't buy at a store. And he was having a hard time unbuttoning it. And I remember I said to him, I was like, yes, do you want me to help you? He's getting like frustrated where he's like cussing at himself. He's like, motherfucker, fucking buttons. So I finally like helped him just unbutton, and he puts it on, and he goes, in my day, we used to just pull them over our head. And I was like, well, in your day, you didn't really win any championships either. So maybe buttons are a good thing.
Boy.
Ooh.
I do like those pullover jerseys, actually.
I do too. I just didn't want to say it in front of
everybody.
Yeah. I wanted to big him up. How many times do I get to big up a Hall of Fame baseball player?
I don't know. I would assume
one.
Low amount. Yeah.
Still, yeah. TBD. That may not be your last time.
But the other thing I noticed today, I was looking up nicknames. Some nicknames I don't consider nicknames. Like the top ones, for example, like that's their name. Like one of them was like Irvin Magic Johnson. Like that's Magic Johnson. Like that's his name. And one was like it was Chipper Jones, but I forget what his actual first name was. It's something weird.
Larry.
It's like William. It's Larry, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's not Larry, isn't it? It's not Larry Chipper Jones. That's Chipper Jones.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Shaq.
The other one was Mookie. Like Mookie, in my mind, Mookie Betts' first name is Mookie.
Yeah.
If you are announced
like
that,
or something.
if you're announced that on like your first at bat or your first time you're in a game, that's your name.
For sure. Yeah.
You don't. Even if you go in the Hall of Fame, you don't get like your real first name and then like the quotes around it. You get that name in front of it.
But it also goes to show like how great of a nickname that is. Like that nickname became your name. Like I am Magic Johnson. I'm Mookie Betts. I'm what was the other one? Chipper Jones. Great names. Way better than their birth names.
100%.
Kid's another good one. So let's transition to this. I know we're kind of rocking and rolling here. Mark, the floor is yours. Tom Brady recently got drunk on a boat.
Loved every second of it. Loved every second of it.
Yesterday was a tough day.
The guy,
very envious.
I was too. I will say that, and I love my son, but I actually was just talking to my dad about this. I would give up my firstborn son to just be on that boat with him during that parade.
I'm in those negotiations right now.
Oh, good. Let me know how that goes. And see if you fall out. Let me know what the asking price really is.
Sure will.
Hopefully, it's not the same the Eagles are asking for Carson Wentz because that's ridiculous. But I will say that I didn't want to cheer for him this year. Okay. It was like a bad breakup.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't want to. I was like, that's it. I was a Brady guy for 20 years. Got me for most of just about all of my life. I am not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be the guy to go out and buy the Tampa jersey. I'm sticking with the team. I'm a Bill guy now. Belichick. And I bought into Cam for the first couple of games. I was like, okay, we're doing it again. But then I started watching the Super Bowl, and I hate just about every single. The Chiefs are the most loved, unlikable team I've ever seen. Between Tyreek Hill being an absolute scumbag, and then Kelsey being an absolute douchebag.
He is a douchebag. Yep.
but he doesn't even do it in a good way where like Gronk has douchey like tendencies, but it's just they just like him more because Kelsey is just like
he's also much better.
Yeah,
Gronk is also
Kelsey's
much better.
a fuck boy, is what he is. He's like the
that's a
guy
good
who
one.
rolls up in a friggin' like, you know, O2 Mazda that's tricked out. It doesn't
Yeah.
even have the subwoofers in, but he's still blasting the latest Post Malone song. Like, fuck you, Travis Kelsey.
I've said before, Travis Kelsey's the guy I see at a frat party that I immediately know I don't want to be friends with him.
Oh, absolutely. He's the guy who also, like, you see him at the beach and he's just like, you know, waiting for a second. He's the guy who pulls the move on the beach where like they try to throw the football and he'll run over and like jump in the middle of the girls. Like, fuck you, dude.
Travis Kelsey looks like the guy who wears like a Motley Crue t-shirt who can't name one Motley Crue song.
He looks like he only listens to Mike Stud. I like Mike Stud. I like him, but he looks like he only listens to Mike Stud.
Travis Kelsey looks like his favorite rapper is Mike Stud.
Yeah, that's it. He looks like he spent. This is a very Boston reference, but it looks like he spends a lot of time in like the basement of West End Johnny's. Like,
oh yeah,
they know him by name,
and he got there before 11.
Yeah,
you know, he's just been hanging out all night.
Yeah,
he's the guy who knows all the bartenders and acts like he can, like, you know, sleep with them, but not really.
I was gonna say he's the guy that thinks that he has a chance with every girl and also approaches every girl at the bar.
Yeah,
and I would hate him if he approached like my girlfriend at the bar or something like that.
I would hate him if he approached me at the bar.
Yeah,
yes.
If he came with,
and he's like, rich and famous.
I don't even want to be in like the men's room line with him. Like that would just
stink.
But anyway. Also Patrick Mahomes. As much as I actually like Patrick Mahomes, just because he seems like a nice kid and he seems like he has led a pretty, he's kind of like a little underdog story when he came out too. He didn't get a lot of attention. But you know, I think the kid is a magician on the field, but the people around him, like his TikTok famous younger brother who's riding his coattails, and his fiance who is an absolute, his wife, I'm pretty sure is somehow related to Travis Kelsey too, because of how much of a douchebag she is. I was telling Soap on my Twitter all day today was the video that they spliced together where it's like she's just big talking her man during the game on like TikTok or something,
bro.
and the friggin' little brother is jumping in the back saying he's a fucking beast, and then it's Brady and Gronk just laughing at each other,
just winning.
Just laughing,
just throwing
and that's
touchdowns.
The end of the
clip. Those two stink.
Also, I had like a guy I knew. I don't, because some people are gonna listen to it and know who I'm talking about, so I don't want to throw all the hints because it could ruin my career. He's a big. I shouldn't even really tell the story. Ask Mav about it. Text Mav after this, and he'll tell you what I mean. One reason of why I dislike the Chiefs because of a specific Chief fan and Chiefs fans. Chiefs fans are fucking obnoxious too. They think they fucking invented the game of football. They're almost as bad as St. Louis Cardinals fans because they think that they know everything about baseball because their team was hot for like 5 years. Like, get fucked.
I kind of relate them a little to Seahawks fans, where Seahawks fans literally think they are part of like the winning, like they're part of like the game, like us cheering in the stands.
That 12th fan thing.
The worst. Arrowhead, Arrowhead is the same way. There's a
they ripped it off at Texas A&M. Texas A&M was doing it for like 50 years before the Seahawks even like had Bosworth.
Right.
So shut up.
It's always like, oh, you don't want to go to Arrowhead. Maybe not.
No, I do.
Brady win there routinely.
He's fucking Brady has lived in Andy Reid's head since 2003.
Sure.
And
included.
Rent free, and he puts his feet on the furniture. Yeah. Like it's just the way it is. Like Andy Reid
fucked his couch.
He's fucked his couch. Tom is like, he's done it in both like the fucking Dave Chappelle way, the Rick James way, and he's also literally put his dick out and put it in between the cushions. Like Tom Brady has fucking mushroom stamped Andy Reid and the Chiefs for 20 something years.
Dude,
definitely since 03.
He owns so many franchises, and I hate to say it, it's like the more successful he is in Tampa, it's just like the Patriots are going to be in that category as well. It's because that's all people are going to talk about unless we make the playoffs. And
but here's the thing. It's so fucked up being a Pats fan.
Yeah, it stinks right now.
Because I'm still not down on them. Like, you know, I'll listen. Friends of the show, Felger and Maz. I was listening to them on the drive home, and they were talking about how this is like the return to the suck, like the '90s were.
Yeah.
And I go, and then they both look at each other at the end. And they just say, "But are we really out on the Patriots?" They go, "No, actually,
No, we're not there
no."
yet.
I'm
No.
like, no,
This
I'm
is
not either.
this is an enormous offseason. It's an
a very
enormous
doable. It's a
offseason.
very doable offseason. It's very doable to
I
get
would
back to
hope
the promised
so.
land.
I would hope so. I don't know. It's like, what were we even talking about? You're talking about Brady. Oh, I wanted to mention this. I think I was actually on the other side. I think Soapy was too, about Brady going into the season. I've said before, it's like I was actually surprised at how little I ended up caring about and like following the Bucs this year, because I was going into this year like, all right, Patriots, of course, but I'm going to follow the Bucs. Like, why not? And then after a few weeks, I was like, nah, this is stupid. Like, I don't really give a shit what the Bucs do. But then once the Patriots got worse and worse, and the Bucs got better and better, it's like I have no reason not to. I certainly don't have a reason to root against the Bucs and Brady, which I'll never understand that side. But I had rooting interest in the playoffs. Like, I watched that Washington game rooting for the Bucs. Same with the who do you play?
Yeah,
next?
I was
Saints,
cheering. I was
and the
cheering for
Packers.
Hinkie. I was cheering. I actually adopted the Washington football team, which is a name I think they should definitely keep. I'm not even joking. I actually think
WFT.
they kind of should. I mean, they made the playoffs as the Washington football team. When's the last time they did it as the Redskins?
Crazy.
What's on their helmet? I can't remember.
Numbers. They're doing the Alabama.
Yeah.
It is original, so
just as equal successful program.
Absolutely. It's the same par. I think I was cheering for Alex Smith all year, who I think is, if he won comeback. I was
cheering for Alex Smith to live week by week.
Yeah, because it looked like he was getting it. He won comeback player of the year, right?
I certainly hope so.
If not, they honestly should name it after him at this point.
The Alex Smith I survived the season after amputating my leg award.
And then when I heard this then I'm watching the game and I didn't have a vested interest. It was just a Saturday night I'm watching football or Sunday, whatever.
Yeah.
And I see the Hinkie play, like the dive.
Yeah.
I ended up cheering for Washington at the end. I was like, I kind of want this.
He just signed a 2-year deal. He signed a 2-year deal.
And he's a lot
younger. I would have taken let's transition to quarterbacks. I know we're kind of I want to stay somewhat what we want to talk about within our time frame. Let's talk quarterbacks. We talked about this in our group chat before. I'm not going to say the NFL is anywhere near how fun the NBA offseason is, but this is going to be a fun offseason, I think.
Yeah.
It's revving up. Russ, Watson, Wentz. Keep in mind, these aren't free agents. Russ, Watson, Wentz.
Dak.
Dak is a free agent, technically, no? He was on a franchise. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, have you been compared to him, by the way?
Dak Prescott? No.
Ooh, that's fair.
I wouldn't mind it.
That's a good
toughest
one.
Prescott around. Dak is Prescott.
Prescott.
Well, I haven't shattered my leg, so I think I definitely am tougher.
It's never too late.
That's fair.
Yeah, watch what happens
with our latest promo code. We can make that happen.
Yes.
Who else? Who else?
Well, there's the guys who aren't free agents who are
who are going to change teams this year. Yeah, like Watson is going to change teams. Wentz is going to change teams. Russ I'm not sure yet. Russ, I think they can fix.
I think Russ
is a pussy. I think Russ is a company man. He'll figure it out.
Well, everybody thought that was the same with Brady too, and then we saw what happened.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But
Stafford
I think Russ
already moved.
Yeah.
Cousins is another one. Cousins is rumored to move.
Which I don't understand that one. It's not like he's done great, but when you have that contract and a team is that dumb to pay it for you.
Does he have a big contract? I don't remember.
He got a big
contract, right? Yeah, that's a good point.
You got out of one of the worst situations ever in football.
Goff moved. I didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that one coming either.
I saw Stafford moving. I didn't think for Goff. That was strange.
I think the whole thing with the Rams is I think that there was the horse they rode in on kind of mentality for a while, but then when they heard that Brady was available and they were in on him in like the early days.
Oh yeah, they were
making the pitches, and then I think when Tom kind of like waved them off or said no thanks. I think that they actually really thought that they could make Goff into a good quarterback just because of they're actually the team that was anti-Patriots for a while, and they were giving weapons and drafting well. They had a running back, they had a really good defense, and they had I think actually a better receiving core than the Buccaneers did. And they made it to a Super Bowl just now 3 years ago.
Yep.
So I'm like, when do you really like pull the plug? And then same with Jimmy G. He was
Yeah.
there
He's another one.
when
Yeah.
2 years
Oh,
ago?
Jimmy G's leaving too. Yeah.
Yep.
He's not a
And
free agent though, right? He's big money. He's tied to big money, right?
It's just no, it's well compared to now, it's not big money.
That's true. Good point.
And
That's what I've been saying about Watson. That's what I've been saying about Watson. It's like, oh, you got to take on Watson his contract. A year or two from now, Watson is going to be viewed as criminally underpaid. Because
I mean, it all comes
Joe
in
Blows are going to get
fluctuations.
higher and higher and higher. I would take Watson, right? I've said this, but I would trade. I'm not even talking about how many picks I would trade. I'm talking about how many years of picks I would trade. At least 1 year of picks, maybe a couple into the second year. Because
yes,
he is what, 24, 25, if that. Yes.
I would if
I would trade picks because this team stinks at picking anyway. You're not going to pick anyone close to Deshaun
Are we
Watson.
playing the Patriots in this scenario? Or are we just playing Johnny football team?
No,
Okay.
Patriots. I don't give a shit about anyone else.
Go ahead.
Patriots, I would definitely trade all my draft picks this year to get Deshaun Watson.
I don't know if I would. And this is my whole mentality behind it.
Who do you want to get in the draft?
I think that the Pats, I'll just hit it, break the glass on this now. This is my whole theory of what I think Belichick should do. It only involves the first round pick. I don't know what he should do after this because I haven't really dissected it. Second round's important, third round's important, whatever.
Right. We don't talk about those on this show.
But I would trade or wait for Jimmy G to be released. Because he's gonna be
released. As in what? They signed someone, then released Jimmy G.
Yeah,
because they don't have anyone else in house that would replace him.
No, they were big on his backup this year when he wasn't playing. They were
Nick Mullins
start or something. Oh, Nick, yeah, Nick Mullins.
They were big on him. And Shanahan's absolute friggin' mental midget. He's one of those guys that's just a one side of the ball thinking asshole that will never make it as a head coach.
I agree. Yep.
But I will say that I think it should be Jimmy. Draft Mac Jones because he will fall down that way.
Oh yeah, he'll be
because there's a lot of people up front that have quarterbacks.
You would take Mac Jones over that kid at
100%. The kid, yes, 100%. I
like Mac. I haven't seen that kid play a single snap. The BYU kid. I've seen Mac Jones a little bit.
I've seen Mac Jones.
I like Mac Jones.
My theory behind Mac Jones is, yes, he had like the best talent in all of college football. Yeah, but he still had to make the throws.
Sure.
So I don't think and if he's a saving guy, he's not dumb. Right. Like there's no Alabama player that's a stupid football player. That doesn't exist. And then I would
ironic but true. Yep.
I would actually think so that's the scenario I would at least fix the quarterback.
So
situation.
Jimmy is a bridge quarterback to Mac
Jimmy
Jones.
3 years.
Oh, that's a big bridge.
No, but I think you can be competitive with Jimmy. That's the thing. Is you can be competitive with Jimmy because he's coming back in.
Depends on what they do around him. Jimmy on this roster, no chance.
I think that they actually get up to 10 games on this. And I think this is why, is that you're bringing in a guy who doesn't need any turnaround time. You can go back to the old tricks.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Screen passes, short passes, cut them up. And Jimmy
completed passes would be ideal.
Yes,
and maybe some touchdown passes. But Jimmy can also Jimmy can also bootleg. Not scramble, but he can bootleg and he can throw while he runs. So I think that's going to help your screens. You got a really good running back core besides Sony Michel.
Their running back room is outstanding.
Sony Michel should be traded a long time ago. I think as soon as he had his good year, that's when they should have traded him.
Some would argue they drafted the wrong Georgia running back that year.
100%.
I don't know.
But that's a 50-50 shot. I'm not mad at that because
I'm not either.
Teams like Alabama, they hit with Damian Harris.
Oh, big time.
They hit big with him. And then
give me Burkhead, James White, and Damian Harris. That's a top 5 running back room.
Give me Burkhead. He's like the Jimmy G of running backs.
He runs 100 miles an hour like this into linebackers. And then wonders why he has concussions every other week.
I'm the king of going full circle. Did you have the Burkhead Cincinnati Bengals jersey too?
No, only one Bengals. I'm trying to think non-Pats jerseys. I had Chad Johnson Bengals. I had an Aaron Rodgers jersey. I had a Marshawn Lynch Bills. I still have these, by the way. Marshawn Lynch Bills jersey. This was the Reebok years. These are old school.
Oh yeah.
I love those ones with a little NFL crest like right here.
Yeah.
They weren't like stitched, but they were like screened. They're like $40-$50.
To go back,
I don't know, but go ahead.
If I'm not going for Jimmy, I'm going for Russ. Russ or
No,
Dak?
no shit, obviously.
But
I would trade 10 years of draft picks for Russell Wilson.
That's the only I would only give up Deshaun Watson worthy picks for Russell Wilson. And that's because
So what would you trade for Russell Wilson then?
I'd clear the board.
You trade all the draft picks.
I would trade this year's first round pick, 2 2s and 2 3s. Like
And N'Keal Harry.
I'd give up
Please.
Stephon Gilmore for Russell Wilson. I would give up
do that
prime
trade.
time guy.
Sure.
I'd give up Hightower too. Give a couple team friendly deals that are almost expired, so they don't have to worry about it, but it still makes them competitive for a team that wants to run it out at the end.
Interesting. I forgot about Gilmore.
I
don't think
I'd even
Gilmore
give
wouldn't.
I give up any of the cornerbacks.
JC Jones, I would give up. Do you think Gilmore for Russ straight up would work? I don't think they would take that. No, me neither.
But
in a pick,
Pete
first in Gilmore seems high.
Not for
Defensive
a guy
player of the year.
Yeah, but not for a guy like Russ. This is the difference between a Russell Wilson and just about anybody else who's on the block right now. And it's the rumors are Aaron Rodgers, but I don't believe that because he has too good of a thing and he's too interesting.
He's too old.
When you own part of a team out there, you're pretty much retiring there.
Yeah. No, I don't want Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, I would like Aaron.
Correct me. Yes, I would take him, but not. I'd rather make the call to Seattle first.
The difference between Russell and if it is a rumor, and Dan Patrick is definitely trying to make it one. And I like to think
great interview. Yep.
Oh, he came up with a follow-up today saying that people are pissed that he said what he said on the show. Like
he wasn't lying. Answer the question. Yeah.
Right. But
I do think Russ has Patriots way written all over him.
Russ is a winner
there. He sure is.
Russ is a tough player who wins, who makes other people better. I don't think DK Metcalf is as good as he is if fucking Carson Wentz is his quarterback.
Okay. Gilmore and Harry in a first for Metcalf and Russell Wilson. Who says no?
Oh, absolutely.
Besides the Seahawks.
Yeah. The Seahawks and I think even the Portland Trailblazers they're close enough to say no too.
Oof.
Vancouver.
We need to have an intervention here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just don't touch the punter.
I didn't
right.
Big Jake Bailey.
I
didn't mention Russ because honestly, out of all these free agents asking to leave, I think Russ is the most likely to just stay put. I think they can figure it out.
I think he's getting a little sick of Pete. And I think it's because Pete think Pete puts more emphasis on the defense, kind of like what Belichick does.
He puts more emphasis on his chewing gum than Russell Wilson.
Oh, absolutely. Just overall record. You kind of know it's a situation where you have a good OC.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to really worry about what's going on the defense side because of everybody else that's over there. You have younger guys, but I think that he would be successful in New England because he's one of those guys that gets kind of the Brady effect. You got out of a bad situation that you weren't comfortable with.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's about money with Russ either, because he's not doing poorly.
No,
he's making pretty good bank.
I feel like he does a decent amount of endorsements too.
Yeah, I mean, but
he's on commercials.
He's got Bose, right? He's got Bose.
I think he's got Bose. I mean, he's married to Sierra. I think when you're at that point in your career, I don't see how money is a problem. Like, I don't understand why
unless you're Tom
you need
Brady.
to negotiate. I guess, but it's like Dak Prescott. Like the biggest thing, Dak Prescott didn't get a deal because he didn't think he was getting paid enough. And I get it. He's younger, but
he's talented.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Does Dak Prescott not have 5 or 6 commercials running at a time?
Oh yeah, Chunky Soup.
Oikos,
too, right?
Soup, fucking one of the clothing lines I know he does. You're in Dallas. Like, and then I remember when this happens, like you settle for the franchise tax, you can't agree on a deal, and you fucking break your leg.
Did Dak have a problem with Garrett, or was that just Jerry Jones?
I don't know. I can't
Bill
imagine.
and Jason Garrett are actually close for some reason. I think it's like some throwback Giants fraternity thing.
I don't know. That team is just, I don't want to go into a thing on the Cowboys, but that team is way too talented to be as terrible as they were this year.
It's all coaching. Belichick said it best. Players win the games, coaches lose them. And they just have had
lost a lot of games.
They've had so many dummies, absolute dummies, and so much talent on the field, but they just don't coach them to be better. I think Dak is really the obsession. Dak, again, I see when he comes back after the leg injury because it's pretty serious, but I would definitely, if no one else, and I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do with him.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't checked my sources in Dallas, but it would be Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott. Besides that, I would focus on Jimmy. Belichick saying, "Fuck you guys. I'm going to show you I was right the whole time." This guy already knows the offense.
God,
He's not going to be.
suck.
He's not going to be a big ask. He can't be a big ask.
No.
But I don't want the Patriots at the same time to just sit back and wait to see what else happens, because that's what they do. Because they're like, "Oh, we can't trade picks." You're gonna fucking do a good job picking anyway.
Right.
Fucking get rid of them and get the players.
Yeah, I never really thought about that angle with Jimmy G. I think that would be awful. Like if that's the angle, like, hey, this is the guy I wanted from the beginning. Let me show you what I can do with him. Because I don't know, they could get Jimmy G on the cheap. Well, I mean,
and you're playing Brady this year. You're playing Brady this year too. So how fucking prime time of a game would it be? Bill on the sideline, Jimmy's on one side of the ball, and Brady's on the other. I mean, it's if the NFL doesn't already rig situations, they should rig that one just for the views alone. Even if it's a blowout on either side, people would fucking stay just for hearing Collinsworth or Romo fucking blow one of the teams.
Do you guys think that is? I heard this today. Actually, Felger and Maz were talking about this, or maybe it was Zolak or something. Do you think that's week 1? It can't be.
It can't be.
No.
Or maybe not week 1. Obviously, week 1's going to be in Tampa. They have their banner.
It could be Thanksgiving. I don't even know if we play on Thanksgiving this year.
Should be Thanksgiving. Be the night game. I feel like it has to be early in the year. Because if the Patriots end up stinking.
Are you asking, does Brady raise the banner with Belichick there?
No. It's at New England, right? That's a fact. It's at New England, so it can't be week 1. But it could be the Patriots home opener. But either way, I think the Patriots, you have to schedule the game earlier. If you play that in Thanksgiving, Patriots could be 2-5.
They would still watch it.
Oh, of course. I know that.
The fucking Pats were prime time the whole year. They didn't get flexed out of anything, and they were still prime time with Cam Newton or fucking whoever was throwing the ball.
There were some bad primetime games.
I would also like to see if I could get Jacoby Brissett back as a backup. Fucking bring them all back. Let's get nuts.
Let's run it back. Jimmy G, Brissett, and then Hoyer.
And draft the kid to just have him hold the clipboard for the year.
Yeah, forget Hoyer. Mac Jones.
No, please forget Hoyer. I like him, but he's
so nice. Let me ask you this: is the only who is an employed quarterback for the Patriots right now? Just Stidham?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's the starter right now.
He's working out with again. We go full circle.
He's doing reps with the ones.
He's going out.
He can tell people who ask him like what he's doing for work. He could be like, I am technically the starting quarterback of the New England Patriots.
I am number 1 on the depth chart.
Today, I am the starting quarterback of the Patriots. So he's out throwing with Palmer's brother. Who's the guy?
Jesse called the Bachelor. Jesse.
Yeah, Palmer? He's out fucking throwing balls with on Instagram, looking like he's all fucking. It looks like a big Adidas ad too, but he's like everyone's wearing Adidas, and he is, and it looks like. I mean, I don't dislike the idea. I really dislike the idea of Stidham because I think he stinks. I was very Stid the Kid pro Stidham before we got Newton, and now I'm like, okay, I don't ever want that to go back. Stidham stinks. He can't fucking connect on anybody. Not even the guy who was his binky in preseason, Jacoby Myers, our number 1 receiver right now. But listen, I actually think that it can't get any worse, because even Bill can get you to a 7-9 record on his coaching alone. So it literally cannot get any worse. So fucking pull the trigger, make some fucking crazy shit happen. Spend some of that. I would actually look to see if I could trade all my picks this year, besides my number 1.
Just get rid of them. You don't.
I agree with
rookies. You need players who can.
With all the free agents that are on the table right now,
100%.
Especially a Hunter Henry. What's one of the receivers what's that kid from Tennessee?
Allen Robinson, Godwin.
What's it? Corey
Davis.
Corey Davis.
I think he's
Tennessee.
I don't think they can get him. I think we talked about this on Twitter. I think he's too good and too young.
If you're trading, if you trade your picks, you're going to free up a little bit more cap space.
Well, you don't. What are you spending? You don't trade a first for Corey Davis, though.
He's a free agent.
You have to. That's Corey Davis is not worth a first-round draft pick, though.
No, I would. I keep the first round. I'm keeping the first round pick. I'm getting rid of the rest of them, so I can have.
Okay.
I don't have to worry about any of that money I would spend on the draft besides my first round pick. So now I actually have even more money to play with in free agency. But you got to go out and get Hunter Henry. That's the first thing that'll help you.
He looks like a Patriot, aka a mid-sized white guy. Yeah. This is a huge season in off season because we were talking about Soapy and I were talking about this in another group chat. if they bomb this season, like they don't get a free agent, or
Forget
even if
about
they do, even if they do, and they go
Yep.
8-8, 7-9, why would you want to come here? Why would you want to come to New England to play a winter sport? Like I said this, remember, what's the go-to like gif on Twitter? As soon as a free agent's unhappy or released, Belichick walking out the tunnel with Stone Cold.
So
Jimmy.
great.
That's
So
going to
great.
be dead, though. That's going to be dead.
See, I don't know, man. And this is it. It's, why do people, it's so weird, just the NFL alone. And I actually think that Brady has a little bit to do with this. This whole idea of like making him like the LeBron James of the NFL, of these are my guys, these are my friends, I'm going to go to war with. It's so weird how him and fucking LeBron's career are like almost parallel.
Yep.
But this is a huge offseason for the NFL in general, because this is the first time that players are fucking calling shots. And if I'm a Rooney or a Mara or any of the other old white guy club that owns teams, I'm getting nervous, because this is going to be a complete, you're going to see a whole lot of teams switch around. Carson Wentz is going to be gone.
Yeah.
And if I'm Carson, I don't blame Carson Wentz, although I think he's an absolute disaster. But the Philly organization right now alone is fucking dumpster fire. I actually was listening to, when I was there, I was listening to sports talk radio, and they were demanding that Carson Wentz have a press conference to explain what he means. I said that would be the worst thing that he could do, because it'll bring his trade capital down. You should have traded him instead of Nick Foles. Now they're talking about trading. You get rid of Doug Peterson, who I thought was an absolute boob.
Yeah.
Like never fucking taking the free points, but I'm going to go for it on every fourth down. I'm never going to use, I don't even know why you have any guys on special teams, because you didn't even get in the end zone for enough kickoffs. I'm going to go for it on it. He needed to be fired just because he sucked. He was terrible.
Yeah, he's not great.
No, he's not.
From the Andy Reid coaching tree.
It's even more embarrassing that that team actually beat the fucking Patriots that year. But anyway, they got rid of him.
Only we had our starting cornerback playing.
Fucking A, right?
What do you know?
Yeah.
Talk about good coaching. Go ahead.
Fuck.
Sorry.
There's got to be. He had to fuck Belichick's daughter or something. Like there has to be something there.
Doesn't matter. I don't care.
Anyway,
you can impregnate Belichick.
Or Belichick. Yeah.
He can impregnate
Belichick.
You got fucking this absolute disaster in Philadelphia, which makes me fucking laugh, because they actually have talent in their. They have talent in their backup quarterback. They have talent in that kid Jalen Hurts. He actually won them some games, but then you bench him, which kind of made sense to me a little bit. They go, it's the last game of the year. We're not going to do anything. Let's not get this kid hurt, which is fine.
Right. But they also didn't put Carson Wentz in.
But the fucking players hated it. And they were like, because they actually wanted to like end on a high note. Which...
I guess, but I think I don't know this, but I would think at this point, more players gravitate towards Jalen Hurts than Carson Wentz.
100%.
I never saw any buy-in for Carson Wentz.
No, it's weird, because they did at the beginning.
But then he got hurt all the time. And Nick Foles won them the Super Bowl.
When he got hurt, it was he was healthy the whole first year when he was almost up for MVP. Yep. And he made a diving play in LA.
Yeah.
Against the Rams.
He got hurt.
Blew out his knee. Nick Foles comes in. And it was just because Nick Foles just became this fucking like cult hero out of nowhere. Big Dick Nick. Right. And they fucking, which is maybe the best nickname of all time.
It's
I will give him that. He came out and it was like, oh. And I said, I remember I was living in Philly when this whole happened. And I said to my girlfriend, who was panicked, because she went to the game out in LA to see the game. And she goes, oh no, the season's over. I'm like, but Nick Foles knows your offense.
Yeah.
And he's played here before, and he didn't do bad, because it got him a big contract someplace else.
Nick Foles is a weird career.
So now they're talking about trading Carson. You get rid of the coach because you want to keep Carson Wentz. Now they're talking about trading Carson Wentz to Chicago to get Nick Foles back. When you
so that he can start over Hurts.
And then you get this fucking dummy from the Colts who hasn't even like smelled a head coaching room before.
Yeah.
This guy who's a stumbling, bubbling dumbass coming in, who South Philly's all fucking excited about because he has a vowel at the end of his name. I have a fucking vowel at the end of my name, and I think this guy is a fucking dumbass. Fucking stumbling on his words like he's fucking Hunter Biden after a crack binge. Oh, I know, whatever. Anyway, it's hereditary, speech impediments. Anyway, then you have this whole situation where planting the seeds that Rodgers isn't happy. Now they're planting seeds that Russell Wilson isn't happy. Dak Prescott is like waiting for his payday while he's still rehabbing.
Yeah.
Then you have everything that's happening with Houston, which is such a fuck. It should be the big. If Tom Brady didn't win the Super Bowl, we'd still be talking about what's going on in Houston and how much of a disaster that is.
Houston is the Enron of the NFL.
Oh my God.
Absolute collapse. Nick Foles' career is interesting.
It's very interesting.
I'm on a little old website called Pro Football Reference. Nick Foles started in Philly.
Yep.
He started 6 games, 10 games, 8 games from 2012 to 2014. So was he not starting because he was hurt? Who else was playing quarterback?
He was on the bench, and I forget who he replaced. Who's the kid?
Sam Darnold. I think that was the Sam Darnold.
No, it wasn't Sam Darnold. What's the kid who played for fucking? He was like the number one.
Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford.
Oh, that's what I meant. Obviously, that's what I meant. Yeah, not Sam Darnold. Sam Bradford. Yes, because I think he picked up. Hold on. I don't know how far back I'm going here. There was the Kevin Kolb, Mike Vick era.
Yep.
And then did that transition into Sam Bradford? There was definitely someone in between. Oh, Vince. There was the Vince Young Dream Team era, and that went into the Sam Bradford era.
That was such a fucking disaster.
Bradford's shoulder fell off his body. Nick Foles
had a season where he started something like 27-7.
Yeah, because he
27 touchdowns, 7.
Because then he went to the Rams in 2015, stunk. He's never played more than 13 games in a season. So he's getting all these contracts, but he's not playing. He went to the Chiefs for a year.
Well, he's also an Andy Reid guy.
I don't remember that one.
He backed up back in Philly.
Yep.
He had a year in Jacksonville.
Yep.
This year in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He can't go back to
St. Louis.
Third tenure in Philadelphia.
He was in St. Louis.
He was in St. Louis for a year. He got a contract to St. Louis.
Big money from the Chiefs.
Yes.
I think that was like the first move that Andy Reid pulled when he went to the Chiefs was get Nick Foles.
He started I will say this. He started one game and went 1-0. So he had 100% winning.
He is like, it's like, it's like almost if Shane Falco was like a real person.
Sure.
I don't know what it is. And I really thought
weird career. He went to a Pro Bowl.
But he beat the greatest quarterback of all time and the greatest coach of all time with one stupid play. And that statue, they have a statue of that in fucking Philly. It fucking stinks. Have you seen it?
No, I've heard enough.
It's not even him catching the ball. It's him talking to
drawing
Doug
the
Peterson.
Play, right? Ugh.
They're literally like, here's the fucking placket he's holding.
And they're both going to be unemployed.
Just staring at it.
Yeah.
He's just looking at a clipboard.
They're literally looking at a piece of paper.
Looking at his tablet. Oh, I'm not.
At least I hope the Brady statue and the Belichick statue is a lot better than the fucking disaster. Again, Philly fucking, we give them the Liberty Bell. They break that. And then they have an opportunity to fucking make a cool statue and they fucking drop the ball on that. Still, the best statue in Philadelphia is of a fictional character who's not even
He's
real.
The greatest athlete in Philadelphia of all time.
Really, he is.
I think if there was a Brady and Belichick
playing Rocky Balboa.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I think if there was a Brady and Belichick statue, it'd probably look a lot like the cover to the Morse code, but it's them holding the system.
Ooh.
They're each
they definitely
system.
won't. I think they're done. I honestly do. Like, I don't think they're going to have a big connection going forward.
Still got to read that Seth Wickersham book.
I don't know because Bill has a good relationship with everybody who leaves. Like
has there been any talk of Bill and Brady talking this year? I don't think so.
But you
Kraft said nice things about him. All his players came out.
Kraft
and said nice things about him.
Bill's in the playroom. Bill's already looking at film to take him down next year. When they leave and they're out of ball, they don't talk anymore. Like I know that he's still friendly with Talib. He's friendly with McGinnis, and him and McGinnis ended terribly.
Yeah, but none of those players are considered like half the share of the credit for their success.
Correct.
It's not who is more important, Willie McGinnis or Bill Belichick. It's I agree with Soapy.
I know, but in public, it was Ty Law too. In public, it was, Kraft said it's Brady Belichick, like of the line. He said it in public. I don't think Bill has an issue sharing it. I still think that Bill is this very like it's a good thing he doesn't have social media like his dog does, but whatever.
His girlfriend.
Shout out to Nike.
Yeah, shout out to Nike. It's like my favorite. I wouldn't mind him playing quarterback. But if you look at it, I just think Bill waits till they're done.
They are done.
I think he's no. I mean, like done with football
before he gives them praise. Is that what you're saying?
Before 100%. He shoots him a text. I don't know.
I don't think. Do you think Bill Belichick texts? Do you think he texts?
They were. whatever. This is what I don't understand about this argument. It's like,
well,
Tom Brady
wants it
is
to be
unlike anybody. It's Tom Brady.
Right.
You had 20 years with Tom Brady. It's weird to all of a sudden, like I've left jobs before that I've worked at for 2 or 3 years. I still talk to my old coworkers. This is that on a level times a billion.
Well, I mean,
you are going to go in the Hall of Fame as the greatest coach and greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah. But I think that it's honestly, I think Bill is just very, it's this laser focus where it's like this amazing filter.
Patriots way.
It's him on the treadmill, walking and doing all that stuff. And he's fucking doing the playbook and everything.
Which I'm fine, I guess. As a Patriots fan, I'm fine with, but
right. I just think
I don't want to go 7-9.
I don't think that Bill could. I mean, the whole thing was like, remember, the guys would play tougher because he made an example of Brady in practice.
Yeah.
To show that no one is above the overall thing. And I don't have a problem with that mentality. It should be team. I don't think that, I blame Alex Guerrero for all this with his fucking gypsy magic, breaking up the band, being like Yoko Ono like that, because that's really what it is. I don't care what Brady says. There's no way that the Butler Eagles Super Bowl thing is actually a thing because he played out of his mind and they were winning for part of the game. So there's no way. There's no fucking way that Malcolm Butler is also picking up Nick Foles coming out of the backfield on that. So I don't want to fucking hear that because that's bullshit. I think at the end, Brady wanted to be fucking get his ass kissed a little bit. Rightfully so. He should have. Rodgers gets his enough and Manning got his enough. And I think that's the whole thing is Brady's like, when am I going to get my treatment? Right. And he's like, I can't do it. But Bill is never going to be that guy. He came up from Parcells, who used to say he was going to fire Bill on the fucking sideline during games. And that fucking Bill Parcells publicly said, you're no good to me if you're in the fucking training room. And he used to trade people all the time, get rid of people all the fucking time. So it's just the way Bill is. They're just
Tom Brady is
opposite
different.
guys.
It's Tom Brady. He's not Jonas Gray.
He can't but he can't let things get different like that.
And
just like Billy
Would
Beane
you not
never
argue that didn't hurt him?
I 100% think it hurt him, but it's not. What I'm saying is that
I know what you mean.
It could never have been that kind of relationship. And for one thing, it was a pretty good relationship considering that they had fucking weekly meetings and Bill would take his play ideas and throw it in the book. Like, Tom, what else do you want? You got the good parking spot. I don't understand what you want. Like, fucking, you got Mike Evans right now. You're fucking guy who's saying, take 10 million of my account so I can pull the Brady to keep this team together.
Yeah.
Tom, how much do you owe in alimony? The kid's like almost 18 now.
Like, got some kids.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I just
at this point, it doesn't matter because at this point, he's not coming back.
No,
I've said before, I think the Patriot way is not getting old, but like, I don't know, a little, I think it's time.
I think it has to be updated a little bit.
Yeah. We need like a system. It's due for a system update. Bill's been hitting remind me tomorrow for 20 years. It's time to do an iOS update.
But let me say this.
If your best player
can you imagine
wants to take an afternoon off, let him take an afternoon off.
Can you imagine if fucking Jimmy did come here and won with this team? Or at least made it to the fucking conference
the next day.
Can you imagine if they made it next year for the Patriots, if they have anybody who's not a Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson.
Sure.
If they make it to the second round of the playoffs, it's Bill wins. In my mind.
Depends what the Bucks do.
Not necessarily, because I think that people are forgetting how good that team was that Brady walked into, and people saying he took a 7-9 team.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, with Mike Evans and Godwin, and then you added everybody who was also pissed off. The greatest tight end of all time, a first-round draft pick running back, and you have a first-round draft pick defense.
Yeah,
with Sue and Pierre-Paul as your front guys on the defense. Yeah, they're not exactly.
No, I agree. The rosters aren't comparable at all. I agree. And
you're playing in a fucking kitty cat schedule all year round. Like you had Kansas City and Green Bay were like your toughest games. Saints, but that's because he just hasn't played. And Saints also one of the more overrated organizations in football. I think this year proved it.
Yeah, they stink. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, it's a big off season. I hope they do something. I mean, I just want to see that we're able to get a big name free agent, an
I'd
Allen
rather.
Robinson, a Kenny, someone,
I
just to
think
see if
that
we can do it.
it's more important that they show that they can win with what they get, no matter who it is.
Well,
That
yes,
is really.
that's step 2, but they can't do that without step 1.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be Jimmy. It's gonna be Jimmy, and
I'd be
I'm
okay with
making the
that.
call right now. I'm fine with it because I'd be just the
Backup quarterback's
drama
important
alone.
though.
I'll make a prediction.
Hit me.
Go ahead. Soaptradamus.
I'll say
Nice.
we do get Jimmy G, and because he is injury prone, we could have another situation where the backup comes in, Jared Stidham, and we see that Jared Stidham is actually the real deal. I'm not completely out on him because
I'm not either.
like he
I am.
yeah, no shit, like he's played like shit, but that's also because he's gotten such little playing time.
He's never had more than
And
10
he's been-
minutes of prep time.
Yeah,
to
he's
play
been thrown
quarterback.
he's been thrown into like really bad situations like
Yeah,
in Kansas
I
City.
know. Oof.
So it's tough to completely bury a guy when we've hardly seen him. If I saw him for even 3 or 4 straight games, then I'd be more confident in making a judgment of him, but I don't know.
I think he'd be a viable backup to Jimmy G.
I think that he is more a concern of how he looks on Instagram than what he does on the field.
That's
Who,
probably
Cam?
true, but I think a lot of guys are
Jared.
like that at this point.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Well, Tom
Tom Brady lives
fucking-
on Instagram now.
Well, first it was Facebook, then he got Instagram.
Tom Brady is nearing boomer age. He's a
Tom
big
had
Facebook
Tom
guy.
had 4 rings before he got even on social media. So
Yeah,
if Jared
fair.
wants to take a pause, like pause
Yeah.
the account for a second, win a ring, I have no
Yeah.
problem with him going back.
Okay.
Or how about this? Hand it off to your buddy. Just like Tom doesn't fucking actually tweet. He's too
Right.
busy drinking avocado tequila, which
know.
by
We
the
didn't
way,
get into that.
I'm so fucking happy he was drunk. I both beers are the best beers. First
Yeah.
off. Second, thank you, Tom, you deserved it. I've said it and I think I tweeted at you this.
Mhm.
I said, as a 20 years as a Patriot fan, or whatever, my entire 10 years as a Patriot fan, I've been waiting for one blowout Super Bowl. So the fact that he finally, and I think Tom was waiting for his too, and the
Big
fact
time.
that he finally got one where he could finally put his feet up, he did it sort of by himself, even though he pulled a LeBron James big time and got all his friends to come.
Mhm.
He deserves to get fucking shit faced. And plus he's on that weird
Yeah, I have no
diet
problem
that
with
he
it.
is where he probably only had 3 beers and it probably got him plastered anyway.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
him
he
throwing
deserved to
the
have a nice
trophy,
day. He's
throwing
having
the
fun.
fucking trophy and doing all that stuff. Good for you,
That's
Tom.
bizarre. That's
good for
like
you,
He looked
Tom.
like he was
These
having
mean
more fun than
nothing.
any of the previous 6.
Which
I would
because
agree
this
with
is the
that.
what I mean, dude. He has more than fucking NFL franchises do.
Yeah, he's had a successful career. I would argue that. I wish we got into that more. We can do it on another episode. We gotta get going here. So, what do you have to sign us off with?
Yes, I've got a poem, and I'm glad that Marc is here.
Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
This is dedicated to Marc's favorite player, as we've just discussed, Tom Brady.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
boy. Go ahead.
TB12, our prince of 7 titles. You inspired so many, and to us, you were an idol. The greatest QB in the Super Bowl era. You married Giselle, who's much cooler than Tara. That's a very deep cut, Tara Reid.
I got it.
I get it. Some people rooted against you on Sunday, while the rest of us cheered and celebrated on Monday. It doesn't matter that you went south and joined Tampa. You're up 1-0 on Bill, who's less coach and more grandpa. He's 68 years old. Some say he's lost his touch. Still a great coach, but GM? Not so much. Draft picks have been squandered, and we trade to move back. Can't wait to use a 6-rounder to improve the ground game attack. But anyways, this isn't about you versus the coach. It's about how he took for granted your dedicated approach. You only drink water and don't eat tomatoes. You can't remember the last time you had steak and potatoes. So off you went south with our friend Robbie G to a conference with Matt Ryan and an aging Drew Brees. You added Fournette and were off to the races. You also added a wide receiver who farts in doctors' faces. There were rumblings that you didn't get along with old Bruce. Would things fizzle out, or was it more rumor than truth? The Bucs kept on trucking and secured a playoff berth. They played the Washington football team. Taylor Heineke, you're up first. Tampa would beat them, as Washington was no match. Not the first time that the nation's capital was easily dispatched. Down to New Orleans, where they call it the Big Easy. but Michael Thomas caught nothing because Drew's throws, they were breezy. So you shipped up to Lambeau for a clash against the Packers, but Rodgers coughed up the ball like some asthma attackers. At the end of the half, you threw one up to Scotty Miller. He doesn't say much, but he proved to be the real silent killer. And then in your finale, you'd battle Kansas City to face Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid's titties. We heard all the buildup. It was the old versus the young, but really we'd see whose resume was more well hung. The game was never close. Mahomes scrambled for his life. His offensive line looked like Manti Te'o's wife. And so here we are, Lombardi number 7. The question, if we get that far, is where you'd wear ring number 11.
Well said. Nice job.
Thank you.
It was very good.
Was that all freestyle?
Yeah, top of my head.
Excellent.
I was
Let's end
checking
on
my
this
email
note.
while I was doing that.
Celtics are playing right now.
Are they?
Anyone want to guess who the leading scorer is? With how many points? 32 seconds till halftime.
Is it not a starter?
Technically, right now, today it is a starter.
Oh god,
Oh,
that's
God.
terrible. Then
A non-traditional starter.
it's not semi, is it?
Sure is.
Oh, God.
Number of points?
8.
19.
Oh, okay. He's actually having a good game. I thought
He's
this was going to be a
on
little
pace to
sarcastic.
drop a 40 burger.
Dude, please bring me back when we're more like, now that football's over and we can focus on the NBA, because that is
yeah.
also an absolute fucking whirlwind that is happening right now.
I think this episode is a clear cutoff of our transition.
I know they
Anyone
don't
want-
have Jalen tonight, but
Right.
they had to start semi?
No, they do have Jalen.
Yeah, he's back.
He's playing.
He's got
I thought
tinnitus
they
in his
said
knee,
they
but
had
he's back.
tendinitis.
No, he's played 18 minutes. He's got
They
so
have a
wide.
day off after this, right?
I sure fucking hope so.
They
Like,
need it.
Wait,
this NBA season is crazy.
Fucking nuts.
so who do they start semi over?
Well,
Kemba.
this can't be right, actually.
Okay.
According
While
to
we're at,
ESPN, it is.
definitely listen to my podcast, Dudes
Yes.
Being Dads,
Yeah,
all of
that's
your
what I was gonna say.
podcasting platforms. And while we're at it, Sam's still not on the show, by the way.
What do you mean?
She's basically quit.
Why?
Listen to the episode Trial of Chrissy 2 Chainz.
That's too bad.
Because I
Are
basically,
you guys hiring?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll find out. I always send the Thursday. I plan to handle it like you guys.
Mhm.
I send the Thursday like text or the day before, and I say, guys, are we good for the time to
Sure.
record? And if Kyle and Sam on the show with me while we're at it,
Yep.
download, subscribe, rate, review.
Sure.
Sam
5
got
stars.
mad at me because we called her boyfriend out for potential extracurricular activities while they were still together. She willingly brought him on the show because I wanted to like have a trial and hear it. His excuse was terrible and I didn't believe it. And I acted like it. And Sam got mad at me for stuff I said, which I thought I was actually with kid gloves. So it's basically been the Sausage Fest series with me and Kyle doing it. And the show
That's
is
how we do
actually
our
pretty-
show.
Yeah, the show is actually pretty good. Definitely check it out if you
It
want to
is a great
laugh
show.
at.
Yeah.
Dudes Being
at-
Dads is phenomenal.
You're
as
lost,
well.
Sam.
Thank you. We took a weekend off because I was just on the road.
That's okay.
But
okay.
that, yeah, I was just like, we're getting a little too. It's fun, and I can't wait to have people on the show. We're just trying to get like we're waiting to dry up on our own little shit before we
Sure.
start bringing people in. So
Yep.
we talk a lot. It's great. I have a lot of fun doing it. And as you guys know, I call myself the Prince of Podcasts, King of Content.
Podfather.
Yes, Podfather.
Well earned.
Where are those guys out of, by the way? Sam and Kyle.
Sam is
Are they local?
in Peabody and Kyle is in Arlington. We just
Gotcha.
started
Arlington
doing
National Cemetery.
no, he's in Arlington, Mass.
Arlington
Arlington,
Park,
Mass.
where the
Yeah,
Rangers play.
where the Rangers play, obviously, with Joey Gallo. We
With
just
Jordan
started doing
W.
Zoom because I was
Great app.
because of
Yeah.
COVID, and
Sure.
we just started doing it. And it's actually been really funny.
Yeah.
A lot of blowjob and dick jokes, and then then we talk poop
Same here.
stories on Dudes Being Dads.
Love it.
bit
I'm
of
going to
everything.
end here. Sammy Ojeleye is 5 for 7 from 3 for 19 points.
Nice.
6 for 9 from the field. Very nice.
Jesus Christ.
Peyton Pritchard is 4 or 5 from
Dude,
3.
that's my
14 points.
fucking
Big fan.
guy. And I
Yeah, he's
called
cool.
it. I
You did
fucking
call
love
it. I
this-
didn't. You did.
Oh, I fucking love him. He should be in the running for
That was
Rookie
like
of the
buying
Year.
GameStop. a year
dude,
ago.
as soon as I saw him wearing a Sean John fucking crew neck sweatshirt, I was like, this kid is gonna fucking ball out.
Yep.
I can't
It's
wait.
my fault. All right. Let's end here.
Love
Brady's
it.
drunk. Still has a bunch of rings. Check out TK's podcasts. Feel free to subscribe to our podcast or don't, whatever.
And most numbered nicknames stink.
Yeah, not as little underwhelming.
Yeah. There's way better nicknames. Yeah, there's way better nicknames. Yeah.
CP?
100%.
Yeah, Ocho's the guy.
Ocho. When you fucking change your name to it.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Soap, anything else?
No.
Plus CP3's Jordans stink anyway.
Ugh. Terrible.
Fucking awful.
All right. Peace.
Peace.